Hello, everybody. Sage here. I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope your holidays are great, fantastic. This is actually the first time I think in years I've ever had Christmas off off work, so it's unusual for me. Um, I'm going to enjoy every bit of my day, that's for sure. So, anyway, I wanted to do a video on another Chris Watts video. You guys, I was always there's so much that's baffling about this case, and there's so many questions. I mean, we, so many questions. And so there's one that's always really bothered me. Um, of course, a lot of it bothers me. A lot of the questions bother me, of course, but I want to know the reason behind the girls being placed in the oil batteries. Now, you guys, it's so highly unusual for something like that to occur. I'm trying to go by YouTube rules here, so my vocabulary is kind of restricted regarding this, but um so more often than not, um, you know, okay, so like Shanann was buried, okay. So why were the girls placed in the oil batteries? Why? It is so unusual for something like that to happen like that. I mean, um I just have this big question in my head. So I have already shuffled the cards to some degree before I began this video. Also, I'm using, of course, the Marie Lenormand Bluebird deck. And I also do the Grand Tableau spread, which is I utilize all the cards. I place all the cards out. I have my own method of interpreting the symbology and the patterns within the symbology. I have done a video on how I do my readings. In the beginning. So it's kind of a video that I've done farther back. But anyway, let's figure this out. I want to see what we can get from the cards on this one aspect of this case. Just see what we get from the cards. Again, this is all alleged, my opinion, not facts. Excuse me. One more. Hmm. Oh, you guys, I got chills. Um, I'm going to point this out right now before I go any further. Okay. So there's a woman. This is the lady card. She is sitting next to the book, a book of information, a book of secrets. The ring is a promise, a a plan that's coming together. Um, that has been thought through together. And the snake, oh, the snake is something this is a it when it's directly underneath um, the lady card or like the gentleman card or the child card, even for that matter, this is not a nice person. Now, I mean, I'm not going to say full names, okay? But I really feel like this is a representation of her. And also across from the tree. Um, oh, this is something that it has affected her. Well, and it would too. I mean, stress does have an effect on a person's health, you know. So, very interesting. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. And I also want to point out the birds is something like information communication over a telephone. So uh this is amazing so far. The mice underneath the ring is a plan gone awry. You know, I think I've mentioned this before. So I'm getting all sorts of little tidbits of information. I told you about this. This is like a verification of, in my opinion, NK involvement. I mean, it's just insane how this usually pops up. Um, I also want to point out, so the scythe is next to the lilies, which is the scythe is cutting through peace and tranquility. So there is something, and it's in the same line as the lady. So, and uh, okay, also you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt so much my interpretation of this, but I have to explain something as well. Is like when I do my readings, I also get snippets of like these pictures and these little movies in my mind's eye. Um, of pictures, and it's really it's difficult to describe, but it's like almost like an old fashioned television reel where it kind of blinks in and out, you know. So anyway, um this definitely, this first line has a lot to do with NK and her present state of mind, and also knowledge regarding something. And um this is also very interesting is um the child held on to information. So, and then so when I'm seeing this, the child above the letters, it's in my mind's eye, what I'm seeing is fingernail clippings um, being taken from them um, for evidence. So, oh, you guys, I'm kind of wondering. Um, okay, I have my thoughts. Let me go on. I have my, mm, I'm thinking that I think I know why they were put in the vats. Um, it's very interesting. Um, okay, so and they're looking at the key. They hold the key, and she knows this. She's holding on to this information. She's the one. that in the back of her mind, she knows, and you guys, we all know about DNA, right? I am so curious to know if oil will degrade DNA, if that is the reason. And oh, and I'm thinking that they're thinking that that was the reason why they put him in there. It's like a verification of it. I just got chills. Uh, but yeah, so you guys, if they ever check the DNA, oh, oh, so, uh, in my mind's eye, it's not giving me a time frame, but I see um one of the baby girls like grabbing a hold when when they were getting um unalived, like they were like grabbing a hold and got a hold of it's like someone's bottom lip, trying to get him off of them, trying to fight back a little bit. I don't think Cece didn't really fight back much, but I know, oh boy, Bella did. But there's DNA underneath those fingernails, and she knows it. There's some how long do they keep evidence? Do they keep evidence forever? I do believe they do, don't they, you guys? Even if it's so called, in their opinion, solved. I would be curious to know if they ever tested the DNA underneath these babies' fingernails. Oh, I'm sick. It makes me sick. Oh, all right. Yeah. Also, I see, again, I still see movement within the prison system. I don't know if it's within or if he's going to be switched to some other place or what, but there's movement for Chris Watts, for safety reasons. Probably. I mean, I'm sure he's not very popular in there, you know. Let me see what else I can see here. Another thing, you guys, this is just really super interesting, is the gentleman, which is, supposed to be Chris Watts in this spread. Underneath is a fox who is a deceiver. Okay. He is, and I've done videos on this before, but he is definitely a deceiver when it comes to people and relationships and whatnot. So that's no big surprise. This is just a verification of, you know, that this is him. He gave a gift away. He took a gift and shredded it, which is, I do believe that has a lot to do with what he had done with the babies and Shanann. Yeah, there's no happiness involved in this situation at all. The mice above the sun and the cross to the right is definitely that is not, it's not a good I'll show you something else too. The tower, which is the jail, the cross, which is um, pain, sadness, the mice, which is a stealer of pleasure, the snake, which is a poisonous person, and the tree is the soul. So this all leads to, I mean, it just gives me chills how this all lines up diagonally in regards to, in my opinion, in regards to NK and Chris Watts. So, you know, with Chris Watts looking at the crossroad, there's also a lot of him in the prison looking back, and um, he's living a lot in the past and thinking that this relationship with NK was the crossroads that he should never have you know um, adventured on. So I mean, which of course it's all obvious, but I really want to get back to those to the babies and why they were put in oil batteries. And I really, you guys, I'm seeing, okay, interpret this as you will, but this is how I interpret it. When I'm going to tell you what I see in my mind's eye: fingernail clippings being taken from little girls' fingers, okay, and being placed in like it's in a lab setting, okay, and I see next in my mind's eye NK literally wiping sweat off of her forehead, kind of like she's thinking about this and like what worrying about what's underneath the fingernails. Um and when okay, another thing too that's coming up is the oil batteries. Um I would be really curious to see if there was um anything that came up, or maybe they just kind of assumed that oil would degrade DNA. Does it? I don't even know if it does, but maybe they thought it would. Um, is the reason why the babies were put in there. But why separate ones? And then when I ask the question why separate ones, what comes into my mind's eye is measurements, like weight measurements. Do these batteries, do they can they sense weight, different weights? Was he afraid that that would set off like an alarm or something? This is just stupid. I know it's probably stupid of me to even ask, but I'm just telling you what I see in my mind's eye. Maybe you guys in the comments can help me interpret that better, but that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. Um, it's interesting to say the least, but um, they both thought that they were very smart, and that's what delusions of grandeur will do, is it will trick you into thinking that you're smarter than everybody else, and that your integrity will not be questioned. But I gotta tell you guys, I would be really interested to know what they do with like DNA, like nail clippings and whatnot in a solved case such as this. Um, I would assume I would assume that they would still keep it, right? Um, for like indefinitely, because this is you know, I can't say it on YouTube, but an aliving case. I don't know. Anyway, this is it kind of answers some questions for me. It verifies, like I was thinking before, the reason why that they were put in the tanks was to help cover up. They thought it would help cover up like DNA evidence. So, yeah, but does it? Does oil will it degrade DNA? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, in their line of thinking, if they ever possibly thought that they would be discovered in there, maybe they thought the DNA would degrade being left in that's, a, in crude oil. Um, I'm kind of curious though, you guys. I'm thinking that there's another reason why they were put in there as well, but because I keep on seeing like, um, it's like where I see fire, but I also see like, it's so weird. I don't know. I don't know. I see like an empty field and fire. Well, whatever. I'll think about it later. But anyway, it's interesting. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think that makes any sense? That that's the reason why? Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, again, um, thanks for joining me, and I hope everybody has a very good Christmas or holiday, whatever you celebrate, and um, love and light to you all.